Okay. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Okay. So, do you have a chart? Okay. Okay, so let's take a look at EU. Actually, we're going to be taking a look um at all of those pairs, but well, for now. Yeah, I like EU as well. In reality, EU wasn't so volatile when I started trading. It was, I mean, its movement, it was a lot, slower, and it was kind of, it was pretty much alike like USD JPY. So the movements were just very, very slow, and it wasn't so good. So I didn't trade EU in the beginning, but now EU behaves just wonderful. I mean, I really like how it behaves because it is a lot more volatile and it respects levels. Just look at this. It's not so messy like gold or other, pair like GBP which is a little bit more volatile. But EU respects a lot the levels. Just look at this previous resistance and the support that then became another resistance. So yeah, I think EU behaves quite good. For example, now I would be more than willing to short EU, right? Because just look at this resistance and how many times has been, respected right there. And with this bearish engulfing candle with the strength of that bearish engulfing candle, I would open this position, which is pretty much what happened with GBP USD. Look at this. Exactly the same pattern. Let's just go back in time just for you guys to identify or to spot this type of entries, this type of wonderful entries. So this was GU, this yellow line is a daily key level, right? And the price was just consolidating in this channel. The price created this spike, which was a false breakout. The price went above this key level, daily key level, pushing the swing traders, I mean the ones that trade the daily time frame, to open buying positions, right? So all of those swing traders started to open buying positions because of this breakout to the upside. But then the price just retraced all the way down and below the previous yellow line, this key level. And it kept, inside this channel, inside this consolidation channel. But then we had a definite movement. Look at this. That candle, that bearish engulfing candle, look, it's engulfing. I'm gonna tell you how many. It's engulfing 28 candles, well, actually more, 29 candles worth of price action, right? This bearish engulfing candle. That was a definite movement telling us that the price was just gonna drop, right? The price came all the way down. Can you see that? So, and that was a wonderful entry. I think it provided a great retracement, you know, for us to have, a really good risk to reward ratio of at least how much? 3 to 1? More, 4 to 1 maybe. Well, it depends. Well, anything, like this, you should take it, right? And now EU looks like that. Look, consolidation, definite movement, and a good risk to reward ratio. Look at this. Consolidation, definite movement, and now I think we're just getting, very close to the breakout of this channel, of this consolidation period, which has been here for quite a long time. It's been here since a couple of days ago, right? It's been just navigating inside this horizontal channel. So from here, what do we have to do? Well, I would open this type of position, right? That type of position. I would be willing to open it. I'm not gonna open it. Why I'm not gonna open that position? Because of this. news that are going to be given within 30 minutes. Well, 24 minutes. So because of these news, I'm not going to be willing to open this position. Um, so I don't know if people are able to listen to me. Oh, quank. People are saying, I think is I think it's completely blank. Allow me 1 second. Can you see it? Okay, right. So the video isn't working. Hmm. Let me take a look here. The reason why. Okay, can you see it now? Can you see my screen now? Okay, okay, great. So I'm sorry for the guys who were looking at the live stream in YouTube because we were talking about good things, good stuff here. Okay, I think I'm just gonna repeat myself, right? I think that would be fair enough. Okay, so I was just saying that here, I mean, this consolidation period, let me use this beautiful tool. Okay, so this consolidation period that we have here, right? The price just moving inside this channel, right? This movement, this type of movement, um, it's just the market grabbing liquidity, right? So now the market is grabbing liquidity. Most likely we're gonna have a false breakout, right? That happens pretty often, right? A false breakout, something like this, and then a huge drop to the downside. So for example, the price is coming from top to bottom, right? From up to down, and from higher prices to lower prices, then we're having this consolidation period. And now, I mean, most likely we're gonna have this breakout to the downside. However, I mean, very often happens that the price before creating this, you know, clear movement to the downside, it creates a false breakout, and with that false breakout, makes people believe that the price is just gonna go up and that they were wrong in their analysis and the price is not coming down. But then, I mean, and they open buying positions and then the price just drops all the way down. So this is something that happens quite frequently in the market, and we gotta be very careful about that, because otherwise it's just a losing trade, right? Okay, so anyway, let's just take a look at what I was saying before. So EU right now it's in a very clear, signal that's gonna keep dropping. I believe EU is gonna break to the downside, right? That's what I believe from this specific, chart, from this chart. Later on, we're gonna make a top-down analysis, and then we're gonna find out if this is actually gonna drop. I mean, if the probabilities are that we're gonna be looking at a drop in Euro USD, right? So, let me just erase this. There it is. Okay, so what's going on now with Euro USD with this definite bearish engulfing candle is pretty much what happened with GU right here, which was a consolidation period, very, very clear consolidation period. This yellow line is a daily key level, and this is spiked to the upside and down. I mean, above and below that yellow line, it is exactly what I was talking about, the fake breakout, right? A false breakout. So what happens is that the price goes all the way up and but comes all the way down again. So that's very, I mean, frequent. I mean, it happens pretty frequently in the market. So, anyways, let's just focus on this bearish engulfing candle. So that bearish engulfing candle is engulfing how many? Like 29 previous candlesticks, right? Which is a definite movement rejecting the daily key level. So after that candle was created, this movement to the downside was very clear. I mean, it was just clear that it was going to happen. And look, it reached this low, the next support. So that's pretty much what you should be looking for in your charts. A clear entry, and this one, for example, provided a great retracement to have a really good risk to reward ratio of at least 3 or 4 to 1. And that's wonderful. That's pretty much what we should be looking for, right? Now, where we are, oh, look at this. This is the position that I was going to open, right? It was just going to be a winning. Can you see that? That was the position that I was going to open it, and I didn't open it because of these news that are going to be given within, some minutes, within 19 minutes. So I was going to open this position. Actually, I actually sent it over in the free channel, right? I send it over for you guys. So, anyway, I didn't open this position, and it's exactly look. It looks pretty much like this movement, this previous movement, right? It was very clear, a very important level being respected. Here was a support, here it was resistance, and here look at the rejection with these two pin bars. So those two tails are telling us that the price just doesn't want to go above that level. Or in other words, the buyers are not able to push the price above that level, right? So there is not enough, buying power to push the price above this level, 1.37574, right? So the price doesn't want to go above it. And then we had this clear, let's take a closer look here. Look at this bearish engulfing candle. So that's a very clear signal, this bearish engulfing candle that's engulfing the previous two candlesticks, but especially it's rejecting that level that we're talking about, telling us, okay, the price is just gonna keep dropping. How much? I don't know how much, but if we have a good retracement like the one that we had, right? Look, this is just 8 pips, right? Stops above that bearish engulfing candle, right? 8 pips. To have a 3 to 1, I'm not talking about 2 to 1, I'm talking about 3 to 1. So this would have been a 6% growth with one single trade in 1 hour, in two candlesticks. Look, 8 pips to get 24 pips right there. There it is. 3 to 1, and it was very clear. That's the type of trades that we should be taking, right? Instead of trying to, manage what's really going on in the charts in our behalf, we just gotta react based on what's clear in the charts. So instead of manipulating the charts in our psychology, trying to believe that there is a setup, we just have to wait until there is an actual setup. Does it make sense? Because sometimes traders, what we do sometimes is just we really want to open a position or to, make some money, and we kind of try to believe that there is something in the charts, but there is nothing, right? So this one was very clear, and again, I didn't take it. I was gonna take it, but because of this news, I'm not taking it. I mean, I didn't take it, right? But very clear setup, beautiful setup. Now, let's go back a little bit in time again. Let's go back until here. So look at those two pin bars. So with the first one, with that huge, rejection, it's still, I mean, it was still possible for the price to go above, I mean, to fill that wick and to keep going up and move inside this previous channel again, right? So that was quite possible. So with that first pin bar, this first pin bar, it wasn't enough for us to believe, that the price was gonna drop, but that the price was just gonna navigate inside this channel again, right? But then with the second pin bar, with that second pin bar, it was very clear that the price was gonna drop, right? So that second pin bar was the signal, not the first one, right? The second pin bar was actually the one saying or confirming, okay, the price is not closing above this previous key level, right? So open a position to the downside. that was a really good signal. Now, if we let the market go on, look at this. We had the bearish engulfing candle, and none of these candles closed above these previous, two pin bars. None of them were able to close above the highs of those two previous pin bars. So what I'm talking about here is that with those two pin bars plus this bearish engulfing candle, this was a massive, massive entry. Also, if you trade market structures, this was also quite a top, I mean a double top, right? Can you see that? That was a double top right there. So there were multiple confluence factors, but the ones that I used was the strength of this key level and the strength of this bearish engulfing candle. Plus these two pin bars were, they added, to the probability of the setup. That's it. That would have been a great trade. I would have called that one in the signals channel. I was about to do it. I didn't do it again because of the news, and we gotta be very careful with the news. So when we trade, we have to make sure that we know about what's going on and we don't get trapped with the news because these news, I mean, what they decide here with these numbers, what happens is that this has an immediate effect in the market, and we are trading the 30-minute time frame and well maybe the 1 hour time frame. And in those time frames, these type of movements are gonna hit our stop losses, right? So that's the reason why we gotta be very careful about what we do when we trade and what's going on in the market when we are, trying to make money. So now in Euro USD, let's just take a very quick view. Look at this. Look at the strength of this resistance. So this resistance has been respected multiple times, and now the price is again creating a little bit of a consolidation as the price reaches this resistance, right? So we might see another push to the downside from this resistance, right? So the price touching the resistance and coming down, we might see that, right? We might see that. So that's why we gotta take a look at the most immediate, key levels and see how the price might react to those levels, right? So we just have to react based on what we see. So if we see a very clear selling signal over here, I'm selling. That's it. Why? Because I know that this is an important level. And if there is a selling signal like this pin bar or like this pin bar, right? Then I can go short. So those two pin bars, for example, they call this movement the next movement to the downside, right? Can you see it? So right here, pin bar, and the price came down. Pin bar, and the price came down. So now this is another pin bar, right? But it's not rejecting the key level as the previous two pin bars, right? So that's why I'm not taking it as a bearish, signal right now. Um, So when we have a candlestick pattern, confirming an analysis, then we can, open a position. So for now, crap, we just have to wait until we have something clearer over here. But let's just take a quick look at these pairs, the major pairs, to see what's going on, and maybe there is something that we could do, right? This one is already gone. GJ, what's going on with GJ? Look at GJ, exactly the same thing. Look, previous very important support that was resistance to pin bars, confirming the next push to the downside, and the price came all the way down, right? So that was at least a 2-to-1 trade, right? A little bit, waiting for a 50% retracement of those two pin bars and take profit 2-to-1. So that would have been like 30 pips. Look at that. It was given, it was provided, right? Okay, but nothing right now. There is nothing over here. The price just dropped over here, and now it's respecting this previous support. You, that's an important support. Look at that. So the price has respected that support, sacredly for several times. So for now, we just gotta wait until there is something clearer over here, like a clean breakout to the downside. And if there is such a breakout, then we can join the sellers, right? If there is such a breakout, we can definitely join the sellers. However, remember that this is GJ, and GJ is super bullish lately. So we might see another push to the upside from here. Lots of rejection candles here or consolidation like these ones, and then the price going up again. So let's wait and see if we get a clear confirmation of what's going to happen, right? But for now, there is nothing to do in GJ. New Zealand USD, look at this. I just shared with you guys in the free channel the analysis behind this pair, right? So the price was inside this channel, very clear consolidation period, and inside this consolidation period, there was nothing to do unless there was a clear signal like this bearish engulfing candle, right? The price came all the way down afterwards. But anyways, the price was just moving inside this consolidation channel. This was a false breakout, another false breakout. And now the price went straight up and then it provided, look, one, two, and three pin bars, rejecting this previous resistance, now becoming a support. So this push to the upside was called. I mean, this little push to the upside was called. I mean, the price was telling us I'm gonna go up with these three pin bars, right? So when we get that type of structure, like a consolidation period, and then we finally get a breakout and a rejection of that broken level, it's clear for us that we just gotta join those buyers, right? And keep going up. So that's what happened here, right? We got the breakout, the retest, and rejection, right? With that rejection, the price went straight up. Now it's still, let's just erase this. Now the price is still, respecting this resistance. And anyways, we just gotta wait until there is something clearer because there is another, I mean, that's another resistance, right? So from here, the price can drop all the way down again, respecting this whole consolidation period or order block, right? Very clear consolidation period or order block. How do you trade this type of structures, market structures? You just gotta wait until the price touches either a resistance or a support, and you go in the opposite direction if there is a rejection candle like these ones, right? So when they were provided, the market changed its direction. Can you see that? So that's how you trade this type of market structures. So anyway, in New Zealand USD now is looking more bearish than anything, right? Now is looking more bearish. So let me erase this. Okay, so let's take a look at closer look at here. And let's go to the 5-minute time frame. Look, now it looks super bearish, right? So if we go to the 30-minute time frame, we can believe, okay, now that the price is respecting that resistance and is rejecting it, we might be, at the top of the next movement to the downside, right? So that's when we gotta take a look at the dollar index and see if the dollar index is providing a little bit of an idea of what can happen, right? Look, Euro USD just dropped. Look. So when this candle started, when I started the live stream at 7 a.m. 25 minutes ago, I was talking about this push to the downside, right? I was talking about this push to the downside and how it was pretty similar to this one in GU here and this one here. And as we can see here, the price just dropped, right? But this one didn't provide a retracement, right? It didn't provide a retracement. Okay, so when there is no retracement, your stop loss gets super wide, right? For example, your stop loss would look something like this, and that's a huge stop loss. That's a 20 pips stop loss, and if you want to make at least double of what you're risking, you should have wait till the price, comes all the way down here. And well, I don't know if that's gonna happen, right? It may happen, but look, there was a previous support here, so yeah, I mean The only way that you can trade this is just waiting for a retracement. In that way, you can have a tighter stop loss and a tighter take profit. So 28 pips is a lot more likely to get hit than 40 pips, you know? So the retracement wasn't provided, but this movement, this push to the downside, was called since the very beginning of the live stream. Now, let's take a look at the dollar index and see how it's behaving. Okay, very strong movement to the upside respecting this previous support. This is a historical level, right? Why is it a historical level? Because it has been respected multiple times sacredly. Look, it was resistance, then support multiple times, and now the price is just going up. So of course there's another resistance over there. Can you see it? Strong resistance, but there is a lot of momentum now. So we might have this breakout now with the New York Open and the news that are going to be given in 3 minutes. So anyway, for now, there is nothing to do here, right? We can just take a look at this structure and see how, it can provide a little bit of an insight about what's going to happen in the major pairs, the one that, have the dollar with them, right? So, in this case, now we're just reaching this resistance and the price is going to have a little bit of a reaction, right? Even though, I mean, even if we are going to have a breakout to the upside, we are going to have a little bit of a reaction to it. Okay, so that reaction is going to push the other pairs up again because this one is going to come a little bit down if it's going to grab more liquidity to break above that resistance unless there is enough, liquidity now with the news just to fly, to break above that resistance without any type of retracement or any type of reaction. So let's wait. Let's wait those 3 minutes. For now, the price is just going up here. Price is just flying. Let's draw that resistance. So that resistance would look something like this, right? So now the price is reacting to it. All right, so the price is reacting to it. Now let's see what's going to happen. If there is a breakout, that would be very nice because it was very clear. I mean, it would be very clear that the price is just going to do that, right? And if that happens right here at the pivot point, we're going to have massive entry in all of these pairs, right? Massive entry to join either the buyers or sellers. So for example, in USD we would be looking for buys, and in the other pairs, we would be looking for sell, especially Euro USD and what else? I think especially Euro USD, right? That would be very nice. But anyways, that's what we are having here right now. News are gonna be given in some seconds. Okay, so I can almost. Man, you scared me. Okay, so almost news, and let's see how much of a liquidity we're gonna get. We're gonna have we have actually several news: the unemployment claims, the GDP. Yeah, these are major news. These major news are gonna have an impact, definitely. So let's take a look here. Okay, not too much liquidity now. Sorry, not too much volatility. Thought there was gonna be more volatility. So let's wait and see. Anyways, this whole 30-minute candle is gonna be, a candle affected by the news. So it's not an spontaneous candle per se, right? So we just gotta wait and see what the market is gonna do with those news. In the meantime, let's just make an analysis for future trades today. I mean later on today, when the market is not affected by those news anymore. So okay, so that's the reason why. That's the reason why. They kind of balanced with each other. Okay, so nothing to do there. Don't try the news. Don't try to guess what's gonna happen. Don't try to make a lot of money with the news because it's gonna be very, very hurtful, very damaging for your trading account. Okay, so this looks like a high. Can you see that? AUD USD. I think we can start. Let me just take a look here. New Zealand USD. Look, New Zealand is just having a reaction to that. I mean, because of the news, but this looks like a high. Okay, USD CHF. It's been pretty messy. Pretty messy. Lots of, noise going on. Lots of noise. Even though the price is still respecting levels, we all know that USD CHF respects a lot the levels, like this one, for example. Even though there is a lot of noise, you can see how it respects the levels, right? Even with lots of noise, it respects the levels, right? So now we just gotta wait and see either a clean breakout or just the price dropping again, right? So the previous candle was a pin bar, so I would believe that the price is gonna drop. But as we were looking at the dollar index, it's pretty bullish. I mean, there is a lot of momentum to the upside, so that's the reason why I wouldn't sell USDCHF, even though we just had these rejection candles, right? These ones. Um, so let's wait and see, because we're just getting affected by the news now. But if there is this type of movement, I'm gonna buy USDCHF, right? Okay. And the dollar, the beautiful dollar. So look, the news actually created a stronger impact in the dollar, of course, which is a very more volatile pair. Okay, so the price is now coming down. We're looking at a very clean and clear bullish trend. Can you see that? Higher highs and higher lows being created and respected. This is the one that I wanted to open last night, and I didn't. I actually missed it. I wasn't looking at the charts. I was awake, but I wasn't, looking at the charts. But that was a massive opportunity right there. Beautiful buying opportunity. The good thing with gold is that you can have an incredible risk to reward ratio. Incredible, like 4 to 1, 5 to 1, 6 to 1. Within a couple of hours, you can make, 6 to 1. So that would be like a 12% growth with just one trade. The only thing is that trading gold ain't easy. It's not something that you can do as trading USDCHF, because gold involves, a lot more factors which create, these volatile movements and crazy spikes that are gonna hit your stop loss before going in your desired direction. But anyway, let's talk about this trade and how it was a massive entry to go long, right? Okay, so this yellow line is a daily key level, and the price was navigating below it, right? Was navigating below it, and then we had a breakout. So when we have a breakout of a daily key level, we gotta take a look at that. A retracement and then a clear rejection to join those buyers, the same buyers that were able to close above that daily level. I mean, the ones that were able to break above the daily key level, right? So look at this bullish engulfing candle. Can you see that? So that bullish engulfing candle was telling us, okay, the buyers are, in control of what's going on in the market right now. So just join those buyers. The same ones that created this breakout, the same ones are creating this push to the upside, right? So for example, that one, that bullish engulfing candle, let's take a closer look. Can you see that? That is a candle engulfing completely the previous candlestick, right? Rejecting this daily level. That was, 155 pips to get at least this high, which was the next resistance. So that would have been how much? Like 3 to 1. Yeah, 3 to 1. A little more than 3 to 1. That was good. Good enough. It took only three more candles, like 1 hour and a half, to reach a 3 to 1. That would be massive. That would have been wonderful. I missed it. I would have opened that position 100% sure, right? I missed it. So look for those type of setups in your charts, and then I will be waiting for, for your message saying, "Hey, I did it." Okay. Okay, so now let's take a look at these pairs, from a top-down analysis and see what we can expect and then what are we gonna be waiting for in the charts. And if it happens, we are gonna, open a position. So that's the best way for us to trade. Make an analysis, make your, I don't know, I don't want to say predictions, but make your plan about, your map about what you want to see in the chart. And if it happens, then you will know that your analysis is accurate and that you are correct. So if it happens, well, open the position and you will see. If you're correct, um, you're gonna hit your take profit, you know. And if not, you can just learn. So you're always learning. I mean, you're always winning something. Okay, so let's take a look at the daily time frame and see what we can make from here. Okay, so since we were given this bearish engulfing pin bar, sorry, bearish engulfing candle, I've been calling this push to the downside, right? Because this looks like a high, and this is a pin bar. This is sort of a bearish engulfing candle, and this is, the definite candle telling us, okay, I'm coming down. How much? I don't know. This is a bearish trend. Look, clear bearish trend, right? So how much? I don't know, because this high, it's quite, I mean, even though this is supposed to be a lower high, and this was a previous support right here, and these candles are reacting to that previous support. I would say that this push to the upside was pretty small. I mean, it wasn't like this one, like the previous one. But anyway, let me just erase this and draw the levels again just to make it even clearer. So we get this trend. That's another one. Crap. This isn't so easy when you use these tools. Okay, so we get that, right? That bearish trend, and we get this previous support becoming a resistance now, and these candles reacting to that resistance, as a consolidation plus rejection, period. So that's, a clear signal that the price is gonna keep dropping. How much? I don't know. I don't know if it's gonna drop this much or if it's gonna drop till, this previous support, or if it's gonna drop until it touches that trend line again, right? Before it keeps, going up. I don't know. I know that it's dropping. So that's all I need to know right now, because what I need to know is who's in control of the market. So if it's bearish, I know that I should be looking for sales. That's it. That's all I need to know, right? So then I go to the 4 hour time frame and see, okay, I'm looking for sales, right? I'm looking for sales. Look at this candle. That's a strong candle. This bearish, well, it wasn't completely a bearish engulfing candle, but almost, right? Anyways, it's a strong candle rejecting that broken level. So look at that. That was the resistance, respected, breakout, and then we got three tops, right? Breakout and retest. And now we're having this consolidation period. This is quite, in reality, this looks quite messy. It doesn't look clean. It doesn't look so great, right? For example, look at this bullish engulfing candle, but then you have a bearish engulfing candle. So that's why we don't trade choppy markets. This is pretty choppy. Anyways, my bias is bearish. Why? Because we just talked about that. In the daily time frame, it looks bearish, right? And we just had this breakout to the downside, so that's why my bias is bearish. And it doesn't mean that the price can't go up again, right? Because it can, We don't know the future, but my bias is bearish. Now, what I do with that bias is just looking for sells. So as soon as we get this breakout to the downside, that would be my confirmation, right? The confirmation that I'm looking or and waiting for. So if I get that breakout, pullback and retest and rejection of that broken level, then I'm gonna go short, right? I'm gonna open that position to the downside and make money to the downside. But again, this is the 4 hour time frame. So it's gonna take a while for that to happen. Now let's go to the 1 hour time frame, and what we get that is just, the same consolidation period, but it looks a little bit more, clean. It doesn't look so choppy, but still not tradable. Nothing that I would trade. Now, in the 30-minute time frame, it looks a lot different, right? In the 30-minute time frame, we got the choppy market, we get that, consolidation period, but it looks a lot more sideways. I mean, we can see how the price respects the support and respects the resistance, right? So, for example, look at these pin bars, right? So those pin bars are respecting that resistance. Look at this pin bar respecting the support, and the price went up, right? The pin bars were given respecting the resistance, and the price came down. Two pin bars down here were given, and the price went up. A bearish engulfing candle was provided, and the price came down, right? Another bearish engulfing candle was provided, and the price came down. So we can see in the lower time frame how, this sideways movement is more, clean, or at least clear. When you have a sideways movement in a specific time frame like this one, the 30-minute one, if you go to the higher time frames, you're just gonna have a choppy market. Something that's not tradable. You're just gonna be looking at, crazy, crazy candles, like that. Pretty choppy, nothing tradable, with no tendency, with no breakout, nothing clear. So that's the reason why, for now, we just gotta wait. What we have to wait for, as I was talking about in the 4 hour time frame, what we have to wait for is for a clean breakout and then a retest of this order block. So this is an order block. This is the market grabbing liquidity, before a huge spike or an important movement, right? So we have a clean space to the upside and a clean space to the downside. So what we have to wait here, what we have to wait for is we gotta wait for a clean breakout. This is the consolidation period, resistance and support. So we just gotta wait until we have a clean breakout of either the resistance or the support. And if that breakout happens, then we gotta wait for a retest and confirmation of buys, right? Unless you want to trade immediate breakouts, but that's very damaging as well. Because, for example, look at this candle. This candle is breaking, above that resistance. So now that candle, crap, that's not the one. There it is. Okay, so that candle is breaking above that resistance. And what can happen now is that the next candle, I mean, even if this one closes, above that resistance, something like this, I mean, even if this candle closes like this, right? And many people are gonna think, okay, this is my time to go, higher and buy. That is not a great idea. Okay, so many people love to do that. I know that many people love to do that. So that's something that I would not do. Even if this one closes like this, we might be, looking at the next candle closing like this, and then the price coming all the way down, following, for example, my bias, my daily analysis. And why does this happens? Well, this is the key level, right? And this push above that level, that would be a false breakout, and that happens daily. I mean, you can find it daily in a smaller time frame, but that happens every single day in the markets, right? Every single day. A false breakout just to trap people, right? This is a bullish. trap. So that's why I wouldn't buy here. I would only buy if I get a rejection of this level, right? Something like the price coming down and then showing me a rejection of that broken level to go long, right? Make sense? Don't worry. Okay, so for now we just gotta wait and see what's gonna happen in the 30-minute time frame. Again, guys, be very careful because even though we're having this breakout, this is the news candle, right? This is the news candle. So if we wanna actually make money to the upside, joining these buyers, these bulls, we gotta wait until we have a clean, retracement or pullback and a rejection of one of those levels, one of those broken levels. Okay, so that's pretty much it with Euro USD. Again, the news kind of destroy the whole setup. They kind of destroy everything. But anyway, look, AUD USD didn't get so affected by the news. This one definitely looked like a high, and the price is coming down. I wanted this pin bar to be rejecting that previous resistance, but it's not even touching it. Of course, the levels can be, they are not an exact science. But still, I mean, I would have been willing to open a sell position only if we would have, you know, have, if we would have had a bearish pin bar rejecting this resistance, right? So that was the resistance. Price, created this consolidation period up there, rejection candle there, you know, and now we're having, the price again reacting to this zone, right? The price is coming down here. Not very clear. I mean, the cells were kind of clear, but not enough to open a trade, right? Not enough to open a position, right? Not enough to open a position. Now, let me erase this. That's a very, look, that trend line is an important trend line, right? Can you see how many times the price respected that trend line? It happened multiple times, multiple times. And actually now it's respecting it again. Look at that. Extend it, if I extend it all the way up, now we have more confirmation of sales. Okay, now with that, okay, with that trend line, with that extension, now it looks, clearer that the price was gonna drop. Yeah, it looks clearer. With that pin bar, yes. 2 to 1 would have been like 11 pips. Yeah, it would have been hit already. Well, anyway, I think I have to say that we missed this trade then. Only because I didn't extend this trend, right? Because that trend was a very, very strong one. And when we have a very strong trend, um, we gotta make sure that we trade with it, right? Until it's completely lost. I mean, until it has no validation in your charts, just then you don't trade with it, right? But before that, that's a very clear trend line, and the price is now. I think this could be the last time that the price, reacts to that trend line. Well, that was my bad. If I would have, extended that trend line a little bit more, it would have been a lot, clearer why the price didn't react to that resistance up here because we had that trend line, that key level. And yeah, that's it. That's pretty much it. 50% retracement, at least 16 pips. You would be very close to it. Yeah, I would have been something like this. That's exactly what I would have done, right? So those who trade with me from some months, they know that this is how I trade, right? So this is how I open my positions. Anyways, I think this was another opportunity lost, another lost opportunity. The good thing is we're learning, right? Next time that it happens, we are know how to react to it. Okay, so from the daily time frame, okay, so we got this bearish engulfing candle, and I've been saying that this is the high, right? So, I don't know, like 3 days ago on Monday, I think. On Monday, I was talking about how this would be, the high, and we could see, a little bit of a consolidation, you know, providing, like the market structure of a high before we have this drop to the downside, a cleaner drop, respecting, the body of this bearish engulfing candle. So the consolidation period happening inside kind of the body of this bearish engulfing candle. And this is still happening, right? This is still happening. Now we're just having, the price reacting to that trend line. And now with the price reacting to that trend line, I think that's the last touch that we're gonna have to it. I think that's the last one. I'm just gonna leave it there until I have that confirmation. So for now, if I, you know, erase that and I draw, fresher key levels, this would be my resistance. That would be the support, right? Which was resistance before, something like that. And now the price is coming down. Most likely it's going to reach that support again, and definitely is going to have a reaction to it later on. Maybe it's going to have a bullish reaction or just a little bit of a consolidation before we have a we have a drop, right? So for now we just gotta wait, but I would be looking for sales now, right? I wouldn't be looking for buys, only down here, only down there. So only down there, this looks like the price is creating some sort of channel, something like this. This is the resistance. Anyway, I like more, the horizontal channels or the horizontal. Sorry, I want to say the horizontal levels than these, kind of diagonals. Anyways, I would be looking for sells, not looking for buys in AUD USD. All right, not looking for buys based on the daily time frame. Let's take a look at the 4-hour one. Yeah, this one looks super, super messy, super choppy. Looks like a high, right? After this bullish trend, it seems we just hit the top of this trend, right? So it seems we're just taking a look at the top of this trend, right? So the price can, navigate a little bit more here before we have the breakout. But this one looks definitely like the high of this upward trend. And since in the daily time frame we have a bearish bias, in the 4-hour one I can say that we have a bearish bias as well, especially because the current candle, especially because that current candle is looking like a pin bar. Can you see that? And the previous one was a pin bar, and this one has only 5 more minutes to go. So we got a couple of 4-hour candles, which are, rejection candles, rejecting that previous resistance. So definitely looking for sells, right? Definitely waiting. What the heck? Waiting for the price to go short here. Okay. So definitely looking for sells. And again, in the lower time frame, in the 30-minute one, we are just looking how the price drops, right? So that's pretty much it for AUD USD. Just looking for sells. You guys questions? You guys have any type of questions or doubts? Do you guys have your own analysis? Do you have your own charts? If you do, just share them with us and we can take a look at your ideas. You can provide, you can get some feedback on them as well. Okay. So that's pretty much for AUD USD. Now let's take a look at GU. Okay, so GU had this type of reaction to the news, right? So those were more of bullish news, right? So they kind of decreased the value of the dollar, of the USD dollar. So decreasing the value of the USD dollar increased the value of the euro and the value of the pound, right? So that's why we're getting this push to the upside. The buyers, starting to buy pounds and selling USD dollars, right? Kind of moving a little bit the market and applying the supply and demand laws, right? Trying to identify what's the balance in the market, right? So now the market created this current candle. Now that candle, I wouldn't take that candle, as a definite candle for anything. So that candle personally doesn't mean anything to me until the market creates or it has a correction of this current candle, right? So the market is gonna kind of heal of what happened with this news, and when that happens, then I'm gonna keep moving forward with what was happening before in the charts before the news were given. For example, these two rejections and the price dropping, the price coming down. So I still have a bearish bias with this pair. Okay, I still have this bearish bias. So let's take a look at, okay, let's take a look at this. Okay, this definitely looks like a high, right? Or at least as a pullback after this bullish movement, right? So the price created this movement to the upside, but look at this. Looks more like a bearish trend, like a bearish channel there. So I would be looking for sales, right? Instead of believing that this is a pullback or corrective move of this bullish momentum, right? Let me take a look here. If I only take a look, if I only take a look at what's going on here, what I want to see, what I will be able to see is just a bullish trend, right? A bullish trend. So, higher highs and higher lows. And this one, if I only take a look at this, I would believe, okay, this is, a higher low, and we're just gonna have this trend. But we gotta take a look at the whole picture, right? The whole picture. Like this downward trend, right? Which is more like this, like a descending channel, something like that, right? So from there, I can have a different idea, right? I can have a different perspective. So from here, I would be more looking for sells than for buys because this is a bearish trend. So I would be waiting for something like this to happen, right? So that's my bias. My bias is more bearish than bullish. This is the daily time frame, so that's gonna take quite a while for us to know if it's in reality gonna happen. So, okay, now let's take a look at the 4-hour time frame and see what's going on there. So in the 4-hour time frame, we get this strong bearish engulfing candle. Can you see that? That's a definite candle. That one is a definite candle. So if I was gonna trade the 4-hour time frame, I would open a position. I would be willing to open a position now with the stops above that bearish engulfing candle and take profit 2 to 1, which would be like 46 pips, you know, till the next support, 2 to 1, something like that, right? But with that bearish engulfing candle, look at the strength of that bearish engulfing candle. The price can keep dropping all the way down until it reaches this next, yellow line, that next key level. I could put it up here. There it is. So the price can actually come all the way down here. Okay. These are some trading ideas. All right. Why? Because there is this daily level, that yellow line, the sellers, they were able to push the price below it, right? Below it. And then look at this. When the price reached that level again, we had this strong bearish engulfing candle, right? Strong bearish engulfing candle. Definite signal telling us how the sellers are, in charge of the market. And this that we're looking at right now, again, if we take a look at the daily time frame, that might be the top, of a descending channel. So this right here could be this top, right? So this right here, this consolidation period, might be this top. And if that is the case, we might be looking at an incredible, entry point to join the sellers, right? So for now, I would be only looking for sells. Every time that the price goes higher, we just get, a better risk to reward ratio, a better entry. If we are still looking for sells, right? If we are still looking for sells. Okay. Now let's go to the 30-minute time frame and see how it's behaving. Again, we just made this analysis earlier in the live stream. So we got this level, we got this bearish engulfing candle respecting that level. Now we're having another breakout again to the upside, but again, this is not an spontaneous breakout, so I wouldn't take it as a definite movement or as a, signal to open a position to the upside. I wouldn't do it, right? So I'm not opening any position there. I'm just waiting for the price to actually drop rather than to go up. Okay, so even if it goes up, I believe it can, have this correction to the downside, correcting that, movement created by the news. Okay, created by these news. All right. So, okay, so my thoughts on EU have already been given. You can just go back in the live stream, but the whole analysis was already provided. Okay, so that's pretty much it for GU. I think again I'm still looking for sells in GU. You wouldn't be looking for buys. And I just made a whole analysis about the reason why I would be looking for sells. Okay, now let's go to GJ. So GJ is kind of like well, we all know GJ is a very aggressive pair. So, anyways, now we're navigating inside this channel, right? Inside this horizontal channel, so you can see how the price is still having a reaction to those levels, right? So let's take a look here. So this is the support that I was talking about. Look, when this at 7 a.m., 1 hour ago, I was discussing when this candle, that red candle, was dropping below that level. I was talking about how the price was going to have a reaction to this support because this is a historical support, an important support, right? Multiple times it has been respected and rejected. So that's why it was very likely that the price was going to do this. It pushed to the upside, right? Of course, this previous candle, that previous great green candle, this one over here, was also affected by those news, of course. However, um, because of the strength of the support, it was clear that the price was going to have a reaction. So I believe that we are not going to have a reaction anymore to that support until we have a clean, and a strong breakout of that support to the downside if the sellers are able to create that type of breakout, that type of push to the downside. So the strength of this support is heavy, it's a strong, very strong support. And now, if the price is actually going to come down, first of all, we must be looking at a very strong breakout, right? Otherwise, it's just not going to happen. I mean, we're not going to be looking at a, at a very small or very, slow kind of breakout like this, with the small, bodies, small candles, No, I think it must look something like this, for the sellers to create this type of push to the downside, right? So for now, I wouldn't be looking for anything because the price is just moving inside this channel. So because the price is just moving inside this channel, this horizontal channel, I wouldn't do anything, right? So just to make it even clearer, I know it's very clear, but look at this support, right? This one was also a support here. Now it is a resistance here, right? So there were multiple, um, candles in rejection candles respecting those levels. So from here, we can either have a clean breakout to the upside, a very clean breakout, and then a retest to join those buyers, or we can just have, the price again navigating inside this channel, dropping all the way down, touching that support once again, and maybe having this strong breakout to the downside, right? Right, so that's pretty much that I would do what I would do here in GJ, waiting for this opportunity to buy or for this opportunity to sell. Would I be willing to trade inside the channel? Yes, in this case, yes, I would be willing to, to trade inside that channel. And the only reason why I would be willing to trade inside that channel, it is because the price is respecting very clearly those levels. And there is, a good space for me to get at least a 2 to 1 risk to reward ratio. So I would be willing to, for example, if I get another pin bar like this one, look at this. We got two pin bars and the price dropped all the way down. Now we're having a new pin bar. If this one closes as a pin bar and the next one is also a pin bar, just like what happened before, I would be willing to open a position like that. For example, if I'm risking, I don't know, like 12 pips, I would be willing to open a position to get, double, like 24 pips, something like that, right? So yes, I would be willing to trade what's going on inside the channel, right? But safer buys are above that resistance, safer sells are below that support, right? Okay, so that's pretty much it for GJ. I wouldn't do anything else. I would believe that it's kind of clear. I would believe that it's providing some good opportunities. I think it's providing a kind of like a good price action, um, you know, setup or a clean chart, price action chart, right? So that's pretty much it for GJ. Questions? Oh, both, definitely both. I mean, the support is very strong, so of course we were gonna have a reaction to it unless we were gonna have a clean breakout. And also the news, they increased the volatility in the market, so maybe we were actually gonna have this push or this reaction to the for I mean to the support, but the strength and momentum of this candle was not more than a reaction or an impact from the news, right? So maybe we were gonna have just a little bit of something like this, like more candles, more smaller candles reacting to the support before the price reaching the resistance again. But here what we got was one candle touching the support and the resistance, immediately. So I think that momentum and that or volatility was caused by the news. Okay. Okay. All right. So let me erase this and let's move forward. Let's take a look at you. Yeah. Massive, massive news provided there. Yeah, yeah. Now GJ. Okay, GJ. That's pretty much it for GJ. Now New Zealand USD. Look, New Zealand or AUD, none of them had a strong reaction to the news. Yes, there were Euro news before that as well. You're right. And this one, correct, correct. Yeah, that may be the reason why EU was a lot more impacted than AUD, USD or New Zealand USD. So anyways, from here in the New Zealand USD, we're having, a very, choppy market. In the 30-minute time frame, if I do this, it doesn't look so terrible. Maybe in the 15-minute time frame, it's gonna look, a little bit better, a little bit better. But still, in the 30-minute time frame, you start looking at a choppy market, okay? And if we go to the higher time frame, well, that's just gonna look super messy, terrible. This type of market structure is just not tradable at all. So if you get that, just close your chart or go to the lower time frame and see if there is something very clear to trade, right? Something very clear. So for example, here, look, can you see that resistance? Now it is a support, and the price is respecting that support, right? But we also have this other resistance, right? So right there is another one. So with this, I mean, even though the price is respecting that support, that's not good enough for us to believe that the price is just gonna, keep flying and going up. That's not enough because until we have a breakout of that resistance, we can't buy. We cannot buy. I mean, this period right here, that's very choppy. I mean, we cannot do anything here, right? Nothing to do there until we have, confirmation of sells or confirmation of buys. Okay, because this looks like a high. I mean, this whole square right there looks like a high, like this one or this one, right? My bias is bearish, right? So I still have this bearish bias in the New Zealand USD as well. So I still have that bearish bias in this one, but I'm not selling, I'm not buying, right? So I'm only buying above that resistance and I'm only selling below the support, right? Inside again, inside that channel, right? Inside this channel again. So, and I would do it only if it's very clean and very clear, like this one. Look at that pin bar, right? Look at this one over here, even though that one got, that would have been a losing trade, right? Because the price went above it before dropping. Or look at those two pin bars. Those were very clear, about the price going up, right? So I would be willing to go short here only if I get something like this with a very clean entry point here, right? That's the only thing that I would do if I'm looking for sells. For buys only if we have, a clean breakout, retest and rejection of this level to go up. That's it. Is it clear enough? I hope it is clear enough. The yellow line, the yellow color. Get away from here. I think I'm gonna start using the red color for choppy markets. So every time that I see choppy markets, I'm gonna be using this color just for you guys to know. Okay, this I gotta be careful with this. Okay, because I'm 100% sure that even though you listen to someone saying this is dangerous, there is someone else doing it, and just that's just happening. Okay, huh? Look at that. That was massive. Okay, that was great. Okay, so this is how exact USD CHF is in respecting levels. Can you see that? That's just massive, and I love this, right? I love this. So I love the fact that USD CHF is willing or able to, respect those levels like that. Can you see that? So we had the breakout and retest, and you know, the price has some reactions and the price drops, right? So USDCHF, it's a very clean pair to trade. Very clean pair to trade. So I think that most of my winning trades happen with USDCHF. Okay, so here we just had a drop, right? We just had this drop here. Of course, this previous candle was created by the news, of course. But let's make a top-down analysis now and see what we can expect here. Yep, so we just have, uh, we were looking at this candle before, right? Which was, breakout, retest, and rejection of that daily level. And we were discussing how this one was gonna drop, right? I think that was yeah, that was a couple of days back, right? On Tuesday. So we were talking about how we were gonna have this drop. And on Monday, we were talking about how this bullish engulfing candle was gonna create a push to the upside. But then, if there was gonna be a rejection, I mean, retest and rejection of that daily level, we would be looking at this drop, right? So this is not something that we didn't see. We talked about this. We talked about how that was gonna happen, that specific movement was gonna happen, right? Specific movement, it was gonna happen, right? Because the price is respecting, I mean, after the breakout, it was gonna, it was gonna have a reaction to that level. Okay, so from this time frame, it looks more like a sell, right? It looks more like a sell, but we still have this support, so we would be looking for something like this, right? Unless there is some confirmations of something different. So now let's go to the 4-hour time frame and see what can happen. So from here looks bearish, right? That previous 4-hour candle, it wasn't supposed to close like that, right? It was supposed to close like this one, or to close like a doji, okay? It was supposed to close like a doji. And with all of these rejection candles, look, those are 5 candles. Those are 5 4-hour candles rejecting lower lower prices, right? So it was looking more like a buy, but because of the news, at the end of this 4-hour candle, the price dropped, creating this type of body, right? This type of, strong red body candle. So, anyways, from here, we just have to wait until the price corrects itself from the news, right? But I would still be looking for sells. Um, Maybe we're gonna have a little bit of a navigation, I think, a little bit of a navigation inside this channel, right? Below this daily level, this one over here. So before below that one, we might navigate a little bit more, but I think the price is gonna drop more. All right, that's my bias here. Currently, we're looking at the reaction to the news, so nothing nice to do now. Just looking at price action, looking at what we can learn, right? So from here, I would only look for sales if there is a clean, movement to the downside and a clear, very clear entry point, right? If there is a very clear, you know, entry point down here I mean, for the sellers to keep, pushing the price down and touching, the next support, then I would be looking, for sales. So something like this, if this is going to be my target, like 15 pips, I would like to have, this type of stop loss to have at least a 2 to 1 risk to reward ratio, right? So that's what I would be looking for in USD CHF. All right, that's pretty much it. Nothing else unless we get I mean, we don't get this. I mean, unless that scenario doesn't happen, you know, and instead we get, um, the correction of this movement created by the news, I mean the correction looking like this, then I would be looking for buys, right? And I would know, okay, this is the correction of the news, right? Of this movement, this previous movement. Make sense? I hope it makes sense. Okay. All right. So now I think that's pretty much it for USD CHF. And finally, let's take a look at the dollar. Okay, so the dollar. Oh, I think I already made this analysis. We were talking about this bullish trend, right? And how this bearish candle was created, you know. But that bearish candle, this is the one of the news, right? But we had a very clean. Let's just go back in time and let's take a look at that very clean trend. Okay, so right there, we got this series of higher highs and higher lows, right? We got this daily level being broken and respected with this bullish engulfing candle calling or telling us about this push to the upside, massive opportunity. Okay, another lower high and another push to the upside. So impulsive move, corrective move, impulsive, corrective, another impulsive move. And then now we got the news. So with the news, everything changed, right? So with the news, that structure was, affected, and we just had this drop, you know, and now the price is just, correcting that drop, going all the way up again, correcting this push caused by the news, right? So I would be looking for buys in gold, right, because of this bullish trend. So we got this horizontal level, which is an important level. It was a support here, a resistance here, support here as well. So I would be waiting for the price to provide either a retracement and pullback, I mean a pullback in rejection of that level to go up, right? Something like this. Rejection from this horizontal level, and then I would go long. So that's what I would be looking for in gold, right? This is the most immediate, analysis. But if we go to the daily time frame, okay, if we go to the daily time frame, we're just looking at this, bullish push, and well, honestly, this wick rejecting that yellow line, that daily level, kind of worries me a little bit, right? Because with this bearish engulfing candle as well, this one is looking more like the high and of this bullish momentum. So right here we might be looking at the high of this bullish momentum and the beginning of a bearish one. So that changes everything, So from here I would still look for buys only if it's a very tight take profit, right? I wouldn't be looking for a wide take profit above the high of this candle. So as long as I'm inside this square, I would be looking for buys. If my take profit is, below this resistance or this high, I would be looking for buys, right? If it goes above it, then I wouldn't open a position. I wouldn't open a buying position, right? Again, why? Because I think from this time frame that this is looking more like the high of this movement to the upside to create another one to the downside. So, okay, let's go to the lower time frame and see what's going on here. And look, this honestly looked more like a sell, right? After this shooting star, we got this pin bar rejecting and also engulfing the previous candle and rejecting higher prices. So even though we got a shooting star before, the buyers were able to push the price all the way this high to 1806.75, and the sellers pushed the price all the way down again, right? So at the end of this 4 hour candle, the sellers were the one, controlling the market. So currently we're looking at, this bullish trend. Still, we're inside this bullish trend. So, well, let's see what's going to happen. But yeah, I think I would only buy gold if it would look like this. My take profit would be that one. So below this previous high, right? Below the previous high, because we cannot, I mean, we might not go all the way up. There might not be enough liquidity to go above that. So that would be kind of my trade, something like that. Otherwise, I wouldn't open any type of buying position, but I would open a selling position in gold up here. If there is a very clean, bearish engulfing candle or, rejection signal like this one, look, like this one, strong candle, then I would definitely sell gold, right? Definitely, I would definitely sell gold. So I think those are my trading ideas for today, guys. Um, I think there is nothing else right now, besides everything that I have discussed for the previous 1.5 hours, right? So look at this. This is my maybe I'm gonna open this position. I might be opening this sell position in GU. It really looks like a sell, right? I might be opening this sell position in GU, right? Um, if you guys want to see the whole analysis why, just go back in the live stream and look for the analysis in GU. The live stream is not so long, just 1.5 hours. So it might be easy to find the analysis for each one of those pairs. All right, guys. Any questions? Any doubts? Any ideas? Any charts? All right. GBP JPY selling 2. Yeah, look at that. Look at how the price is again respecting those levels. That's what we were discussing, right? So, yeah, doesn't look like a selling signal for me, of course. I wouldn't know what my entry and stop loss would be. But yeah, it might be, the beginning of this breakout to the downside if there is enough liquidity. So let's wait and see if that happens. So thank you guys. Thank you guys. Can't find your course in your description. Well, I mean, you just gotta go to the website that's in the description, and there are lots of details in there. Okay, guys. So take care and talk to you tomorrow. Tomorrow is Friday, so be careful and have a good one. Take care. Bye bye.